This was a Saturday morning hustle flashback episode.
I have an ironic topic to cover with you today. Listening. The irony is I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes about listening. I'm talking and I'm not listening, but when you're hosting the podcast by yourself, you have to do all the talking. Hopefully, as you listen to it, if you like the ideas, you dislike the ideas, you agree, you disagree, whatever it is, you will reply back on social media. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram and reply to what I'm putting out here for you today. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday morning hustle podcast. No hyperbolic hustle culture, just brutally honest, straightforward business advice and motivation every Saturday for entrepreneurs, business owners, or anyone pursuing success. You can't just work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and hope to become the next big thing. You gotta work smart, work hard, put in extra effort while everyone else is sleeping, playing games, or wasting time. Maximize bonus time to get more work done. This podcast is for anyone willing to come in early, stay late, hustle on the weekend to be truly great. People are not listening enough. And that's in general. That's absolutely everywhere. Everyone is trying to talk over each other and at each other. And everyone is more interested in speaking in order to be right and not having conversations, which half of a conversation is listening. But more specifically, and for this podcast here, for what we're going to talk today, is social media. People are forgetting that the social media is specifically in trying to connect with people, have relationships online. The whole value of electronic, digital social media is the fact that we can have conversations with people that we're not in the same room with, that we may not have actually ever met before, not even in the same part of the country, the world, or on at the same time even, but we could still be social with each other. But again, half of a conversation, a social conversation, is listening, and too many people want to speak only and not listen. And not only is it just bad form when it comes to being social on social media, there's actually a ton of business value in social listening. It's something that I talk about a lot on my business podcast, and I'm going to bring it over here today because I believe in it that much, and I believe people are missing that many opportunities by not listening enough on social media, using the digital channels and all of the apps and all of the aspects, all the tools that we have to manage social media, to post and to listen and to watch and to connect. Too many people are just pushing out like a megaphone, one-way conversations, just pure advertising of do this, buy this, go here, click this, follow, just for numbers and not for value, etc. And not enough people are watching conversations, listening to them, making input when it's necessary, when it's potential to be good and positive and add to the conversation as opposed to just speaking. Also, too many people want to kind of cut someone off immediately with, hey, here's an idea having this topic. It's like, no, you're wrong. Or here's what I think. Or let me change the subject, as opposed to letting people fully put themselves out there. It's one of the reasons you should not. Please don't be talking politics, religion, and sex on social media. Those things you're not supposed to talk about at cocktail parties. We definitely don't want to do on Twitter. Or Facebook or Instagram or any other place like that, because too many people jump in mid-conversation, and no matter how good-hearted the conversation is, no matter if you started with someone who you have a good relationship with and maybe you have the ability to speak freely with each other and maybe even tease each other or have a sense of humor about it, other people will get involved and they will hijack that conversation. So that's another aspect of people not listening, because people don't want to listen. They want to jump right in the conversation itself, which can hijack the actual conversation that was started to begin with. So again, like as referenced earlier, I talk about social listening for business value a lot on my business podcast for the Golden Group, but a lot of people, especially brands, miss the opportunity to use social media platforms as research tools, as testing tools as to what audience attitudes are, not just about your specific product or service, but in general. Are people excited about all kinds of different things? Change in the weather, seasonal, politics or lack of politics, world news, events, big things, sports, all of these things that might be affecting people's attitudes, good, bad, or the other, could be boiled down into something you can use for your business. It's typically not, again, product or service specific, but the attitudes of, we want to see more things like this. We want to see less things like this. We want less politics. We want less vitriol. We want less arguing online. We want more cute puppies. We want more celebrating diversity. We want more video content versus written content. Whatever it is, if you pay attention to what's working well on social media, what people are paying attention to, what they're interacting with, because the attention is the key. Keeping it, and then what you do with the conversion, which is the business aspect of it. But you can't even talk about the conversion business until you get people's attention and keep it. And obviously, we want positive attention. We don't want people paying attention to us because they hate us, or they're mad at us, or they think we're jerks, or they think that we're completely wrong on a subject. It's good for debate, not good for a conversion process. And that's when it comes to a business conversation. But if, as a person, especially if just individual or personal brand, you start with attention, then you have to have conversation. Then you can get into the idea of conversion, and on a personal brand or a self brand or personal level, it's more about creating relationships, followers, people following you, people you're following, conversations you create online that actually bring value to everyone. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality, for sure. So back to the idea of social listening. Brands and personal brands and individuals who are trying to master social media need to listen more than they speak. And you need to speak enough that people don't forget about you, keep front of mind, and stay in conversations that are relevant and make sense to you and something that you can add value to. Don't just jump into conversations just because, but bring value to the conversation and try to be positive. If you do that, you create great, positive, very social relationships on social media. But again, half of that needs to be listening. So listen more than you speak if possible. Try to speak about specific things that you have information about, have insight into, you have connection to, that you can bring value to the conversation, not just adding noise, which the less noise that happens, the easier for all of us it is to listen. So it kind of comes again full circle. But pay attention to what people are interacting with positively, the things that they like and dislike, that, and they're giving you information about how you can motivate or inspire or even create a conversion potential when it comes to a business opportunity, because you're doing what the audience is looking for in the way they're looking for it, in a way that makes sense, because you paid attention to them and not because you simply come up with a gimmick or something that has worked in a business potential in the past and just sort of try to push it down people's throats. Why is that a bad idea? Because no one likes it when it happens. So you aren't sitting there thinking, I would love for someone to try to trick me into buying something. No one ever says that. No one ever feels that way. So why is it that advertisers and marketers always want to go down the path of, we're going to push this idea? We have a program, we have a thing we do to try to convince people to create a conversion. Don't do that. Listen to what they're saying, good, bad, and the other. Find the things that motivate them to initiate the conversion process on their own, and then to provide this product or service, the delivery in the way they're looking for it. And now you have the potential for an ongoing, repeatable, sustainable relationship if you listen. That's the message for the day. You have to listen. Social listening is a huge, powerful tool that too many people just don't utilize. Think about it. Put this into use as you're taking time this weekend, looking at people's social media. Listen to what I said here, and then reply back somewhere on Twitter, on Instagram. Heck, if you want to send me an email, growth@thegoldengroup.com. I'll take it. We'll discuss it on the next Saturday Morning Hustle. Until then, have a good time. Be good to each other. Listen more than you speak, and think about what you're trying to put out in the universe via social media. Don't be part of the noise. Be part of the solution. Thanks for listening. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment, leave a review, share with a friend. I would really appreciate that. Follow and engage on social media, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and this Saturday Morning Hustle Facebook fan page. All the information, all the past episodes, all the Saturday Morning Hustle, Entrepreneur AF, and Coffee and Donuts swag is at SaturdayMorningHustle.com. See you next week.